Today, guys, on What's This Wednesday, we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. So let's get to the first thing, shall we? First is the hands down the coolest thing you're ever going to need. It's called the ESP Wrench. It is made by ESP Guitars, right? And they have a little plastic left so you can't see the logo, but there's the logo ESP. I'm going to put a link in this. I think I can find them for about $11 shipped, which is about reasonable. Sounds expensive, but I promise it's not. What can you do with it? Well, you can do a couple things. First of all, it's very highly polished steel. I've been using it for years, and I can tell you right now, I've never scratched a guitar with it at all. It seems pretty smooth. So, for instance, a guitar like this, if you want to change the knob, look how you get underneath there, and you can pop it off, okay? However, not only can you pop it off, but here's what's cool. On most guitars, if the spacing is correct, you use this to space off you can use it to tighten the actual volume. So when they're loose, see, I've been tightening that. You can also use it to tighten your tuning keys. Get in there and tighten there, right? And get into all the spaces. Now you can use a socket wrench for that. I know what you're thinking, but this is with the string still on. And why is it important? Well, because your guitar is constantly vibrating. So things are coming loose and you can sit there and tighten and loosen with this. You can also do in-style input jacks. So for instance, if you have an input jack that looks like that, you can essentially tighten or loosen with this. It is designed to get into all kinds of situations with acoustics as well. I use it all the time to get into the end pins on acoustics and where the input jacks are. I have found so many uses for this as a whole that I own like 3 of them. 2 at the shop and 1 at the house. So highly suggest you look at this thing, the ESP Wrench. Next up, what do you do if you collect picks like I do? And you have these cases that looks like I got this at, actually I did, I think I got this at a craft store, or my wife picked it up for me at a craft store, you know, to put your sewing needs and you keep picks in it. Very cool, I guess, but it doesn't make the picks seem very special. So what you can do is you can find online very inexpensively, anywhere between $5 and $20, really inexpensive style jewelry cases designed to hold rings. So these cases will hold rings, and then you stick your picks into where the rings go. Now you could say this is silly, but you know, these are pretty cool picks. Like I have this cool Mickey Mouse pick. I have bone picks. I have a pick made from a cymbal. This is actually made from a cymbal, right? Oh, sorry. Made from a cymbal. So, I mean, just cool stuff. So what happens is, what's great about this too, is when the nieces and nephews come over and stuff, you can show them this and they can play with the picks and put them back in the right spots. So definitely cool if you're collecting picks. A cool thing to figure out. Since they don't make anything for picks, you use a ring holder. Next up is the metronome. Okay, so metronomes. You can get one as an app on your phone. You can buy a digital metronome. That's great. My problem for me is I use a metronome a lot, especially as a bass player, and I don't like the way they sound. None of the digital ones have ever been really good for me. I can use a drum machine and stuff like that, but essentially I use this, and here's why. It's made in Germany, which is cool. It, to me, sounds almost like this. I can hear the drumstick hitting the side of the rim of the snare. And it actually is a click. The other thing I like about it is it winds up. So no batteries. It just works forever and ever and ever. So, you know, right, you don't have to spend, weight in batteries. They are pricey. This one is about $40 on Amazon, maybe 50 bucks some places. So the price is kind of much, but you can also, has this cool little feature where you lock it and see, and you can put a little cool case on it. The only downside so far of it is this side piece sticking out. They want you to unscrew it and then you stick it into the slot in here. My son lost one. I contacted Whitner and they gave me a new one, but I would imagine they're only going to keep giving me so many of them for free, right? I can imagine they'd want to give me a second one when my son loses it. So I just leave it installed in there all the time and watch out for it. So the Wittner Metronome is definitely cool. They make the big ones, you know, for pianos, but this one, see how small it is? It can fit in a guitar case. I just really like this for a metronome. I think you will too. It's easy to figure out and it sounds great and you'll play more with a metronome. And that's the key, right? Okay. Next up is Dava Picks. D-A-V-A Picks. Dava Picks. Very confusing picks if you've never tried them or seen them before. because they come in multiple colors. So your brain, from being a guitar player for so many years, has told you that they're different thicknesses. The creepy thing, or not creepy, I should say crazy thing about Dava Picks is all Dava Picks are the exact same pick. They just come in different colors for no reason whatsoever, just to be cool and be in different colors. You can buy them in bags of one color, or you can buy the random bags. So, what does that mean? Well, how does this thing work? Well, first of all, it's got rubber on it, okay? It's actually a plastic piece of plastic pick coated in rubber, so you can really hold on to it. But the trick about Dava is these 3 lines that you can see here. And essentially, by putting your finger on each line, this would be what they call thin pick, because it has a hinge. So holding it here when you strum, it bends really easy, probably because the hinge is really reinforced with rubber. The next line, if you put your finger there, you have a medium, and it's stiffer. And if you go to the last line, or over the last line, you're now heavy pick because it's harder. These picks are definitely a mixed reaction. Some guys really, and gals, really like these picks, but some people really find them really weird. I had a friend who, well, I still have a friend, I should say. He was wearing them down really fast, so he switched from them. But I haven't experienced that, but maybe I'm not playing them enough. But very cool picks just to check out. So I know sometimes it's hard to check out a new pick. This one's definitely out there. Not that pricey. I think a bag of them is about $6. So 2 cups of coffee at Starbucks, and you have some picks. All right, guys. Thanks for your time. Know your gear.